What is the difference between a 401k and a Roth IRA? In this video, I'm going to tell you not only the difference, but why, if you don't have a Roth IRA, you could be missing out on millions for you and your children. Your children need one. Stay tuned. So the reason this is so critical, like all my clients ask for this, and if they don't, I have to put it in because the Roth IRA is so critical for your life. I'm going to talk about the differences between the two, the 401k and the Roth IRA. I'm going to talk about the differences, how they're taxed, one pre-tax, one after tax. I'm going to talk about lifetime value of both of them and should you self-direct them. So get ready, grab a piece of paper, lots of notes to take. And if you have children, really pay attention. So let's talk about the differences. First of all, a 401k is typically from your employer. So you have a job and somebody from HR comes to talk to you and says you should invest in this vehicle called a 401k. Now, some of them, you just have to think about the common sense of it. The very person who's paying you is the very person you're going to give back your money to. I think the whole thing's odd. You can tell my opinion already. The benefit though, the one benefit is that it's pre-tax. So it actually reduces your taxable income. So that's that one. Now let's look at the other one. The other one is a Roth IRA. And you put your money in after you've paid taxes on it. But here's the cool thing. Even though you can only put a small amount in, it grows tax-free, tax-deferred for the rest of your life. So stay tuned about the kind of investments that will make your kids millionaires in that one. So first of all, the difference, 401ks, you have to be an employee of somebody. And even if you own your own company, that's not the name of the thing you're going to buy for yourself or your family, right? That's a solo 401k. It's very different vehicles. So a 401k is designed for employees only. And the maximum you can put in is only $19,500. Once you turn 50, you can put in and catch up another $6,500 a year. Here's the problem with that one is you didn't pay tax. So who knows what the tax rate's going to be? And our people in Washington are really going to screw this up if you happen to do your distributions in the next few years and you have to start pulling that money out. You could be at an unknown tax rate. So that's the risky part of a 401k in an employee, they call it an employee benefit plan. So if you load it up later in life and let's just say the tax rate, if it's in the Reagan era, it could be 17, 18% when you take that out. Do you really want it to be taxed at that level later? So it's the unknown that you are, gambling with, I'm going to say in that circumstance. And then the other thing, and our team will evaluate. Right? For those of you watching our channel, I have an enormous expert team. If this is the first time, I have a team and we will evaluate your 401k for you and tell you if it's good or bad. I actually work for Chevron for a minute or two because I'm just a horrible employee. So I actually did maximize it because it was a great one. It had a 4-to-1 match. It was like an amazing plan. Not all of them are. And then what's worse is once you give them back your money, think about the insanity of that. You make money, you're going to hand it back to those people. And by the way, most of the time, an employee that makes less than $100,000 is managing your money. And you want to be a millionaire? I don't know how that whole thing is going to work out for you. But what's worse is what are your choices to invest? They're usually mutual funds, bonds, boring stocks. I'd go to sleep in that. So I did it for a while. So I have to be honest, I did do it for a while, but I'm already out of it. I self-directed it. I cashed it out because it was boring compared to other things I'm going to talk about in my channel, which by the way, you need to subscribe right now. So I go on and on and on about every topic under the sun that has to do with money, right? I'm a money expert. Ask me any question. You could also comment and say, well, what about mine? What about mine? And I have a whole team. We're going to be answering all your questions. Stay tuned. Now, a Roth, why do I love it? Because you are going to own a company when I'm done with you. And if you have children, your children can work for the company and have a Roth. So I have a Roth. My two kids have a Roth. You can put up to $6,000 a year. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but wait till I tell you what you can do with it. So you put $6,000. Once you turn 50, you can put $7,000. Big advance. So these grow slower over time. So what I want you to think about as a parent is $500 a month, $500 a month, $500 a month. And if that's all you do for your child and you invest it at 10% and you do it for 20 years, your kids will be millionaires. That's the only thing that you have to do for your children if you want to do what I call the lazy way to a millionaire. And it's a long, slow way. So we're going to speed that up on my channel over time. So let's talk about that Roth. So you put some money in there and this just happened. So inside my daughter's Roth, she's 14, I bought Bitcoin when it was sub 4. It is now, I think, what was it yesterday? In the 40s. It's gone as high as 60. all of that growth, tax-free, tax-deferred. The other thing I did inside her Roth is I did some stock market trading and investing. So when the market crashed in March of 2020, we tripled her account, right? So she went from, because she's 14 years old, so she had about $80,000. So she's got hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because when the market crashed sub 1929 levels in March 2020, welcome to the pandemic, it gave a huge opportunity for those who wanted to grow inside a Roth. So I think everyone should have a Roth. It is the easiest vehicle to grow tax-free, tax-deferred, and you have the certainty that you've already paid the tax, which right now is a really low rate, and the vehicle can grow. More on that later. It is phenomenal. You can buy real estate with it. You can buy gas and oil. You can buy companies. So that brings us to the next point is, do you want to self-direct it? The answer is yes. Now, if you don't self-direct it, and let's talk about that, there's like really clear distinctions about that, is if you don't self-direct it, then you can only invest in the stock market. Now, the truth is, even if you walked into like a Schwab or a Fidelity or whoever you go to, they're going to say, we have self-directing, but it's very like couched. It's only inside their vehicles. It's a Fidelity bond or stock based, right? It's only their products. If you self-direct with custodians, which there's about 7 to 10 in the United States. Now, there are like 2 in Canada. Remember, I'm married to a Canadian, so I'm Canarican. There is actually 2. There's only one I'd recommend in Canada. There's only one I'd recommend in Australia. And I haven't found a good one in any other country, quite frankly. So this is why America's great, is we have these cool vehicles for wealth building. So inside a self-directed Roth, the way we do it, you could buy a company. You could do all the stuff they do on Shark Tank. Inside your Roth, tax-free. You can buy companies, you can buy real estate, and as you move and sell it, it's all tax-free because you've already paid the tax. You know the tax. There's some certainty going in. So you can tell the obvious answer. Yes, self-direct. Yes, grow your Roth. Now, am I saying no to just wrap this up about the 401k? No, I'm just saying it should be evaluated by an expert, really, to look at it, because some of those plans are horrible, and mainly because your choices to invest aren't as great, and you don't know. You have the uncertainty of tax later in life when you have to pull, and you only have till 70. Then you have a mandatory requirement to do a withdrawal. And what if that's the year that taxes are at all-time high? So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, pay attention. Own this part of your conversation. Don't just say, oh, let my financial planner do it. It's not your financial planner's responsibility. It is yours. It is you and your family's responsibility to know this content. So I hope you enjoyed the differences between them and the tax differences. Clearly, the Roth growing tax-free your whole life is the better retirement vehicle. But you know what retirement means if you've been watching my channel. If you don't, it's an agricultural word. It's not even a financial word. It means to put cattle to pasture to die. We're not going to die ever, like you're not going to cow. So let's not do that. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to go take my financial personality quiz. It's phenomenal. It takes just a few seconds, not even a minute. And you're going to go click, click, click. What that's going to do for you is show you 1 of 4 profiles. Where are you? And then I'm going to pop back out on a video of wherever you landed and tell you exactly what to do about it and what your next steps are. So to take my quiz, click on the link below and I will see you over there.